Hello everyone, and welcome back to more The Legend of Heroes, Trails in the Sky. And today, we go upstairs to undergo our final day of training. The Star and the Hanged Man, the Hermits and the Magician, and last of all, Inversion through the Wheel of Time. This is a difficult combination. How should I interpret this? Morning, Shara! Well, if it isn't Estelle and Joshua, this is a rare occasion for the both of you to show up so early. Since it's my last day of training, I figured, why not? I'm ready to get this show on the road and become a bracer myself. I'll give you credit for your enthusiasm, but I'm going to work you hard today in every way I can think of to make sure that high-spirited attitude of yours holds up. I hope you're ready. I can feel that enthusiasm dropping already. Quiet, you! Every time I teach you something, you somehow manage to forget it. This training is my way of trying to keep some of that information in your head instead of letting it dribble out your ears like it usually does. Joshua, Shara's picking on me. Don't worry, Shara. While Estelle may hate studying and rarely ever does her homework, acts rashly, is overly naive, and has a tendency to stick her nose into everything, her instincts are sharp, so I'm sure she'll pick up on how to use an ornament with some practice. Eventually. Probably. I guess there's not much I can do now except hope for the best. Hold on a sec, Joshua. Somehow I get the feeling that you weren't standing up for me. Well, that's odd. I'm positive I described all your best traits accurately. Whatever. By the way, Shara, what were you trying to predict with your tarot cards? Your face was really intent. Oh, this? I was just trying to get a vague reading about what might happen in the near future. Unfortunately, I don't seem to have been in the right mindset to interpret the cards correctly. You couldn't read the cards? No, that's surprising to hear. Actually, the more profound the meaning of the cards, the more difficult they become to interpret. But that's not important now. I think it's time we start your final training. I'll give you a brief rundown on all the information we've covered in your previous training. This is the minimal level of knowledge that bracers should have in order to function effectively. And Estelle, make sure you pay especially close attention to what I'm going to say. Yeah. What would you like to know about? Let's learn about ornaments. Ornaments are mechanical devices which operate by using what is known as orbal energy. A variety of effects can be produced depending on their structure and the type of quartz or processed septium installed. Although it's only been about 50 years since their invention, these devices play an integral role in all facets of life. From lights, heaters, and other everyday objects to other everyday products to weapons, magic, and even airships. In connection, this technological reform is commonly known as the Orbal Revolution. About bracers? Bracers are investigative and combat specialists who work to protect civilians and maintain the stability of their respective regions. They aid the community in various ways, such as exterminating monsters, preventing crime, finding lost items, and escorting people and goods. The Bracer Guild, which has established branches across the continent, manages the affairs of the bracers in each region. About the Liberal Kingdom. The Kingdom of Liberal in which we live sits on the western half of the Zemurian continent, and abounds with nature and deep-rooted traditions. Liberal is proud to be one of the leading producers of septium on the continent, and is known for its high level of technology used to develop ornaments. Ornament technology has also been a key pillar of support for Liberal in protecting its independence, as it has contended with neighboring nations. 10 years ago, when Liberl was invaded by the Erebonian Empire, it was the use of orbital-powered airships that saved the kingdom from defeat. Consequently, even now, our relationship with the Empire is somewhat sensitive. But thanks to the Queen's political finesse, Liberl enjoys peace. That's all. Let's see. Since we got a mountain of stuff to do today, I'll let you off the hook this time with a condensed review. I'm going to speed things up now and move on to the practical portion of your training. Shara? How is today's practical training any different than the training we've done before? Since it's practical, that means you'll be experiencing things firsthand. Therefore, I'm going to have the both of you run through everything as if this were a real bracer job. So what you're saying is, there won't be any studying at a desk involved? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. This time, you'll have to go out and make a physical effort to accomplish your task. I'll make sure to have you work up a sweat, so I hope you're ready. Yes! That's seriously just what the doctor ordered. I didn't know what I was going to do if I had to sit another day with my tush parked at a desk. I guess I got all worried for nothing. Well, suddenly you're all bright and cheerful, Estelle. Let's just hope that smile on your face lasts until the end of today's training. Okay, let's get cracking on your first objective, shall we? Let's have at it! Your first objective will be to confirm the details of the job you'll be performing. But before that, there is something that we need to give the both of you. Aina, are they ready? Yes, they are. Alright, you two. Go get one for each of yourselves. These are very important, so make sure not to lose them. Bracer notebooks serve as the official way to record the status of your current jobs. Also, anything you may hear or anything that you may find and wear, these kinds of trivial things can often become clues. No matter how insignificant something may seem, always write it down. Understood. Crap, this sounds like it's going to be a pain. Oh? Please tell me it was my ears playing tricks on me, because I swear I only got one response. I'm sure there were two. Keeping an accurate account of events is an important duty for all bracers. So get with the program and stop trying to make this out to be more than it really is, Estelle. Okay, I got it. Make sure you do. Alright then, let's begin. Look over by the door. You can see that there's a bulletin board standing there. First, I want you to go and check the job description posted there. When the bulletin board is approached, an exclamation mark will appear. Pressing the OK button will display the job list. By selecting the job names on the list, you can view their details. No, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna leave. And just where do you think you're going? We aren't finished with training. Quit screwing around and check the job description. The bulletin board is over there. Alright, so this is the quest menu where we can accept quests. Training retrieval, new. Long term. This is essentially how long you have in story to get the job done. Basically, short term means that if you progress the story, if you progress the story any more than you already have, then that quest will expire. There's also medium and long, which means you can progress the story a bit more. Anyway, client Sherazard, pay 500 Mira, details, direct request. This training will involve searching the sewers beneath Roland and bringing back the contents of a chest. See Sherazard for details. Details of the job confirmed on the bulletin board and other important events will be automatically recorded in the Bracer Notebook. The Bracer Notebook can be easily found by clicking on the Books tab of the Items menu. It can also be accessed by configuring a Bracer Book shortcut button on the Configuration menu. Very good. It looks like you were able to see what was posted without any trouble. Checking the bulletin board is one of the most basic functions a bracer performs on their job. Checking regularly to see whether or not there are any urgent tasks which need immediate attention is also an important duty for bracers. Man, all this talk about duty is starting to cramp my style. Sure, there are a lot of rules to follow, but there's an equal level of responsibility in the jobs themselves. I think being a bracer calls for much more than someone with a half-hearted attitude. I guess you're right. I'll just have to be more motivated. Is that so? Had a change of heart, have you? You betcha! Well, before all that motivation sneaks off somewhere, let's get to work on your next task. What will we be doing this time? We'll be heading across the street to Mr. Melder's Orbital Factory and learning about how to use its services. He has graciously taken time out of his work schedule to explain things, so make sure to be on your best behavior. Okay. Here is where you will learn how to use an Orbital Factory's services. At an Orbital Factory, you can modify your orbments and synthesize support quartz in order to use orbital arts. Arts have a wide range of effects, and if mastered, can be extremely helpful. The bracer business is a pretty risky occupation, so the guild has had a long-standing relationship with these orbital factories. Anyway, this is about as much as I can explain. I'll leave the technical details to the expert. So, Mr. Melders, if you wouldn't mind taking over from here. No problem. Leave everything to me.
So what is it that you would like to know about?
Orbments?
Orbments are mechanical devices which exhibit an array of effects through the installation of various types of quartz. By definition, that means that lights, airships, engines, and so on are also types of orbments. However, the ones we will be discussing today are battle orbments, which enhance the user's physical abilities and make it possible to use magic. Since each orbment is adjusted to match the owner's personal aptitude, the structures for these devices also differ for each owner. Simply put, the shape of the fixed elemental slots and lines which connect them vary. At any rate, that's the layman's explanation. In order to install quartz, you must first have an open slot. By default, the central slot is open, but the other slots must be opened at an orbital factory like this. It'll take a fair amount of sepith too. EP, which is needed for magic, will also see a max increase according to the number of open slots. I recommend opening them all as soon as possible.
Let's learn about orbital arts next.
Simply put, orbital arts are magic, which can be discharged exclusively through the use of battle orbments. In other words, a number of peculiar effects can be produced by using the orbital energy stored within these mechanical devices. Since orbital arts are a mouthful, they are almost universally referred to as arts. Probably ought to have been called that from the get-go. There are several types of arts, but in order to be able to use them, their corresponding quartz must first be synthesized in an orbital factory. Orbments are also set up so that once a particular quartz is installed into a slot, the owner will be able to use those arts. The type of arts one can use also changes depending on their elemental value and the combination of installed quartz. Basically, if you want to use water arts, all you have to do is install quartz with a water elemental value. In reality, orbments are much more complex than what I have described, but I think this information should suffice for now.
Quartz?
Quartz are circuits made from sepith. Quartz have a vast number of effects and raise the owner's abilities while simultaneously making it possible for them to use arts. However, you will not be able to harness any of these effects until quartz has been installed into a slot. However, there are also fixed slots in which only a certain type of elemental quartz can be installed. That being the case, when you synthesize a new quartz, be sure to check your orbment and decide where you will be installing it ahead of time.
Sepith.
Sepith are fragments of septium which are dropped by monsters. They are divided into 7 types: earth, brown, water, blue, fire, red, wind, green, time, black, space, gold, And Mirage, silver. Sepith can be exchanged for Mirror almost anywhere, but at the Orbital Factory it can be used to synthesize quartz and to open orbment slots in which to install the synthesized quartz.
We're done, mister. It looks like Mr. Melders has answered all your questions. If there's nothing else, then let's have you both try and use the services here. For that, you're going to need some Sepith. Receive several of each type of elemental Sepith. With that amount, you two should be able to synthesize a few quartz. Now, I want you to begin by first making an elemental quartz that will work with each of your particular orbments. In your case, Estelle, any elemental quartz is okay, but for you, Joshua, it has to be a time elemental quartz. Normally at a shop you would be able to exchange Sepith for Mira, but for this training you will not be able to use this service. Upon approaching the counter, a talk mark will appear. Pressing the OK button will display a list of options. Select Modify or Trade to use the Orbital Factory services. Now I want you to...
Oh, good work so far. If you need to use the Orbital Factory, give Freddy a holler over there.
Let's select Modify / Trade. We have 20 of each Sepith. What quartz can that synthesize for us? Okay, so we got Defense 1, which raises defense by 5%. HP 1, which raises max HP by 5%. Attack 1, which raises strength by 5% and lowers defense by 5%. Evade 1, which increases agility by 1. And Action 1, which increases speed by 10%. I'm gonna synthesize them all. Let's open the camp and equip Estelle with attack 1. I love me some fire. I love me my fire quartz. And action 1. There we go. All right. It looks like you were able to synthesize 1. 5. Next, I want you to increase the arts you can use. Now install a quartz into your orbments so that you can use both recovery and attack arts. Quartz can be installed in the orbment screen. The orbment screen can be utilized by selecting the orbment tab in the main menu. The only way to do this is by equipping an HP 1 quartz on Estelle, because Joshua has time quartz exclusive slot and thereby cannot equip water quartz in that slot, so yeah. Alright, it looks like you've got both recovery and attack art set up. I'm switching back to fire as soon as I can. If you balance your arts out between each other like you've done here, it should make dealing with monsters much easier. Additionally, your bracer notebooks contain information about which quartz allow you to use which arts. If you'd like to use more powerful arts, check out the arts and quartz charts in your bracer notebooks, and find something that works for you. Alright, our training here is almost finished. Last of all, I'm going to have one of you open a new slot in your orbments. The more slots you have available to you, the broader range of choices you'll have. Since EP, which is consumed by using arts, can have its max value increased by opening up slots, it would be a good idea to open them all early on. Now I want you to use this Sepith and open a slot on each of your orbments. Go ahead and decide which slots you're going to open. Receive several of each type of elemental Sepith. Hi there. Looks like you two are doing well in your training. If you would like to modify your orbments, please select the Modify / Trade service. Alright, so let's open a slot for Joshua. Good work on opening up a slot, Joshua. Since your central slot is limited to a certain elemental, it would be best to increase your Orman's number of open slots early on. This concludes your training here at the Orbital Factory. Now it's time to move on to what you've both been waiting for. The qualification test. Pardon? Did you just say test?
You can't honestly tell me that you forgot about the test again, can you? Didn't I remind you just this morning?
Now that you mention it, I vaguely remember some sort of talk along those lines at the breakfast table. Sometimes I fear for the future of the Bracer Guild. And humanity. Oh well, no sense in worrying about that now. Let's head over to the testing area. You mean like, now? I don't know if I'm ready for... How about a little less yapping and a little more walking? Joshua, help me!
Mr. Melders, Freddy, thank you for all your help. Don't mention it. And good luck with that test of yours.
We'll be rooting for you. I'm going to remember that you left me high and dry like this, Joshua! All your training has finally come down to this. Your qualification test will begin here. I expect to see you both use what you've learned up to this point.
Understood. What's wrong, Estelle?
Shira? What now? I was kind of wondering, but is there not going to be a paper test or something? Did Cassius drop you on your head as a child or something? You just read what it said on the bulletin board not that long ago, right? Yeah, and? And I even made you jot down what you read in your Bracer notebooks. Unless you forgot that too. I'm pretty sure the job listing mentioned searching for and retrieving an item from the sewers. Ringing any bells yet? What a relief. Oh, divine Adios. I give thanks to thee for thy infinite grace in bestowing upon us such wonderful gifts as sewers.
So what you're really saying is that you thought it was a paper test. No wonder you were acting all crazy back at the Orbital Factory.
I can already feel the nostalgia. All those horrible days stuck in a classroom are starting to feel like grand memories indeed.
I'm really starting to wonder if we'll even be able to graduate at all.
What's wrong with you? Why do you have to go and say something like that when I'm trying to reminisce about positive things? Alright, that's enough jabbering, you two. This is supposed to be a test, so how about the both of you try to at least look a little anxious? Just so you know though, if you do happen to flunk the test, you don't even want to imagine the kind of homework I have in store for you. We'll be fine. Just tell us what you want us to do, and let us loose. Well, if you're so confident, then how about proving that you're not just blowing hot air with the results of your test? Anyway, as you both saw on the bulletin board, this test will be a search conducted in Roland's sewers. Your objective is to retrieve the contents of a chest which has been placed somewhere within that area. The layout of the sewers is extremely simple, so you don't need to worry about getting lost either. However, there are real, living, breathing monsters down there, so if you get careless and let down your guard, you will be sorry. Also, let me give you this before I forget. Receive Tear Balm ×3 and Monster Guide. What's this book for? It's called a Monster Guide, and it's used to record information about monsters and other opponents you meet. Whenever you figure out an enemy's attributes, you should make an immediate note of it in there.
Sounds pretty straightforward to me. He who controls the information controls the tide of battle, right?
That's exactly what I'm saying. You've really got a good head on your shoulders, Joshua. That's some pretty useful advice. Thanks for the tip, Shira.
We'll put it to good use.
Alrighty then. Let's get pumped and knock this test out.
Let's. Don't forget though, this is an exam. We should make sure we treat it as such.
And we're in the sewers. La da da. Where do we go? Fork in the road. Let's go here first.
There appears to be a recovery point set up over there. Let's use it if our HP and EP become low before engaging in any further battles.
Ornament charging stations are recovery points set up in dangerous areas. As a recovery point is approached, an exclamation mark will appear, and 2 choices will be displayed by pressing the OK button. By selecting the rest option, all HP and EP will be restored. Sounds like a plan to me! Alright, so let's open the menu. Before I forget, let's re-equip Estelle's attack quartz and equip Joshua with the HP quartz from before. And we're gonna rest here. I don't know why it says rest. But anyway, we got our first enemy here.
Monsters at 12 o'clock. Be careful not to let them take advantage of your blind side.
Got it!
Monsters cannot be seen from far away. They will become visible as you approach them.
The conditions at the start of a battle will change depending on how a monster is engaged. Engaging an enemy from behind is advantageous, while being attacked by an enemy from behind is disadvantageous. Alright. Battle order bar. Indicates who attacks first. It starts from the top and moves down. Alright, so this is attack. Attack an enemy. You may also use it to move if you're using a mouse and click an empty location. The highlighted area indicates the distance a character can move. Selecting a target in this area will move the character to attack. When an enemy is out of range, an icon will appear on your cursor. Selecting an out-of-range target will move the character as close to it as possible. As possible. Oh god, this is driving me insane. But no attack will be performed. Anyway, let's attack this dirty rat. Add another 6 to that number, why don't ya? Anyway, dirty rat. That enemy has chosen to simply sit there and die. I see this enemy has no self-preservation instincts. I don't know. Alright, and we got EXP and Sepith. Let's go this way now. Here comes some more.
Depending on the enemy, some physical attacks may be ineffective. Let's use arts, not physical attacks.
Okay! Arts are effective on enemies that are good at avoiding physical attacks. Arts also make long-range attacks possible, but they require time to be cast. EP is consumed when arts are used. EP can be recovered by resting at inns, hotels, or by using charge stations and other items like an EP charge. Alrighty. Arts. Arts are effective against foes which are difficult to hit with a weapon, or those on which physical attacks have little effect. It takes time before arts can cast. Also, EP is consumed when arts are cast. All arts have an element. Determine the element most effective against your foe and use it. This enemy, Moth Cluster, happens to not be weak against any particular element, which means that all elements will work on them fairly effectively. Anyway, we use arts Firebolt and Aqua Bleed respectively. And both of them died. Yay! more EXP, and more Sepith. Estelle, let's try using crafts this time around. Since crafts have other effects besides just dealing out damage, they're worth a shot. Roger that! Crafts have range limits, but can be utilized instantly. CP is gained by dealing out or receiving damage during battle. Crafts. Crafts are character-specific skills which not only deal out damage, but have a broad range of effects. Using crafts consumes CP. CP is gradually gained by dealing out or receiving damage in battle. Anyway, the only craft Estelle has at the moment is Morale. Ignore the pummel, that'll come into play later. And Morale increases strength for everyone in the area, including the user. And Dual Strike deals damage. Twice. How exciting. Anyway, let's just kick this enemy's ass. Alright, and this way there is a treasure chest. And after we open this treasure chest, I'm going to be showing you something cool about this game. We got a reviving balm. So the translators who worked on this game found a little thing in the code that they could use to their advantage. Essentially, in the Japanese release of this game, the chest messages, the messages you get when checking an empty chest, all say something along the lines of, "This chest is empty." But here's the thing. They were all coded individually. It isn't like a universal thing, so to speak. So the translators had did funny things for each chest. And this is one of them. The chest is empty because of you. Nice work, hero. Anyway, nothing over here. Ooh. The door is rusted and appears to be locked. Whoopsie. Oh, what a surprise. Another creepy thing. I wish there were an easier way to take care of them. One blow using an S-Craft or S-Break should do the trick for just about any enemy. The catch is, our CP has to be at least 100 to pull off one of those moves. These devastating attacks can only be unleashed when the CP gauge is above 100. S-Breaks are actions which allow S-Crafts to be immediately unleashed while ignoring the battle order. S-Crafts, which are unleashed as S-Breaks, can be changed by going into Tactics and then set S-Break within the main menu. Alright, so you can see our CP has immediately been increased to 98. As soon as we attack an enemy, S-Breaks. These are actions which allow S-Crafts to be immediately unleashed while ignoring the battle order once the CP gauge has reached 0. S-Crafts, which will be used as S-Breaks, can be changed by going to Tactics and then set S-Break within the main menu. Press the Break button, this thing right here, to unleash an S-Break. An S-Break cannot be unleashed under that condition. Now press the Break button and try unleashing an S-Break. If you're using a keyboard, you may use the 1 to 4 number keys or the arrow keys to select it before unleashing it. Anyway, and that is an S-Break animation. S-Crafts always come with these cool little animations. Anyway, let's use Joshua's S-Craft. Nice. And we got to level 3. Alright, nothing over here. And let's go over here. So that's the treasure chest we're after, huh? If we've made it this far, the rest is gonna be a piece of cake.
Seems like we've got a little breathing room at least. Let's pay close attention to our battle order this time. There should be a number of ways to get more mileage out of our actions. During battle, there are several bonuses which can be allotted to turns. Turn bonuses have the same effect regardless whether they are allotted to an ally or a foe. Using S-breaks to ignore the battle order makes it easy to jump in and strip an enemy of their turn bonus.
Alright. Battle order bonus. These icons indicate the bonuses allotted to the battle order. If a bonus icon appears next to a character's icon, they will receive that bonus. This symbol is heal HP, that symbol is Sepith up, etc. Indicate the effects of each icon. Alright, so, Sepith up means that whenever if you attack while the bonus is in effect, that enemy drops Sepith, as you can see, probably. We're gonna use Aqua Bleed on this monster here. Oh, I see you are not playing nice anymore. Ouchie. Now let's use Soul Blur on this enemy. And buff. I think I remember seeing somewhere that strength up applies to both physical and art attack, but I can't exactly be sure. Anyway, one-hit kill. Oh, wait, you were already damaged. Anyway, let's, kick that guy's ass. Fire bolt. That turn bonus should have been given to Estelle. Nice. Nice, and we got some more Sepith. Anyway, let's open the chest. Found small box ×2. That's weird. There's a couple of boxes inside the treasure chest. The fact that there's not just one, but two is kind of interesting too. Wonder what's inside.
Remember, Estelle, our mission is to search and retrieve only. I'm pretty sure looking inside those boxes doesn't fall under our mission objective.
You're no fun at all, Joshua. This has nothing to do with our mission. It's what I like to call good, honest curiosity. You know, we're the only ones down here. We can get away with a teensy-weensy peek, right?
If you feel like flunking today's test, then by all means, be my guest.
Did you just say the F word?
Yep. Opening one of those boxes could result in an automatic fail for the both of us. If this were a real job, the contents of those boxes would belong to the client. And as long as they were nothing illegal, we would have no right to open them.
I know you're right, Joshua, but I just can't help myself.
If you absolutely have to know what's inside, why not ask Miss Shara when we get back? But for now, we need to focus on getting out of here.
Alright. Anyway, let's check the chest. By looking inside this chest again, you flunk. Just kidding. Anyway, I'm gonna call it for the episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.